Hi everyone and welcome. We'll get started in just a minute. Okay, hi, and thank you for taking time out of your day to join our webinar. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tina, and we do these webinars every month. I'm the marketing manager for 79 Consulting. In this month's webinar, we are excited to showcase our CPQ product designed to benefit users of SuiteCommerce or NetSuite. CPQ is all about making your unique orders hassle-free and ensuring a smooth buying experience, especially if you're looking for customized or bundled products. A quick note to our audience, please post any questions that may come up during our session in the chat box and we'll answer them as we go. Before we get started, a quick overview of our company. We were founded in 2007 and we've been providing support, managed services, and integration services for NetSuite clients worldwide. To extend NetSuite's platform functionalities, we have developed a number of Suite apps that I will show you very shortly. And like I mentioned before, we do these webinars every month. And should you like to catch up on any of our past sessions, please do head on over to our website and to our webinars archive page where you can find all of our past sessions. These are our products. Like I mentioned, we have 8 of them on suiteapp.com, and should you like to look them up, please use the search term Tvarana. That's Tvarana. Now onto our panel introductions. Our speaker for today is Athara Nair, who leads our e-commerce practice and has almost a decade of hands-on experience with SuiteCommerce, SuiteCommerce Advanced, Site Builder, and Core NetSuite. Athara and her team are responsible for building, maintaining, and upgrading SEA websites. Hey, Athara.
Hey, Tina.
Should we get started?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. Today, I'd like you to walk you through Tvarana's CPQ product offering, which is a solution that we have built. CPQ solutions have become invaluable to the B2B and the B2C customer experience these days. Companies that have configurable products rely on this type of solution to accurately quote out their clients and to make the experience easier for their sales team. Our CPQ solution is built on and for NetSuite and is available in the ERP or SuiteCommerce Advanced or SuiteCommerce and our own Portals Pro platform. Clients can have their customers configure products without the need to purchase NetSuite SuiteCommerce and add more users to their NetSuite license if they use this with Portals Pro. We'll be covering the highlights of the CPQ in this webinar and would be very happy to schedule a demo for anyone who needs an in-depth review of the product. So let's look at some of the highlights and the features of the products right now. Simplifying the complex, right? In the world of e-commerce and retail, you need a system that simplifies your complex offerings. And that's where CPQ comes in. It helps you cut down on manual tasks. It adds consistency to your sales framework, and it's a perfect match whether you want to upgrade your existing processes or start from scratch. It allows you to offer complex configurations of products for sale in a simple user-friendly interface. Now, with a simple UI, The CPQ solution is easy to use both for your customers and for your sales team, shortening the learning curve and enabling easier sales. It offers flexibility. The solution lets you set up your configurable products the way you need them. It gives you options to create groups of items easily and define dependencies among them to create valid purchase groups. It also enables accuracy and mitigates risk by, setting up configurable dependencies between products to make sure only orders with valid combinations are placed. It provides a unified experience since it utilizes the same architecture for both the ERP and SuiteCommerce. It provides your customers and your sales team with a unified ordering experience, making things easy for both. It supports multiple images for each option, so you can associate any number of images you need that are specific to the choices and options being offered. The naming convention for images in the CPQ is designed to be similar to that in SuiteCommerce, so if you use the platform already, adoption will be a simple thing. It offers unlimited levels. You can set up as many number of levels and options as needed. It supports a variety of item types like matrix items and assembly items, inventory items. And since it supports assembly items, it allows you full control on how you track your sales by SKUs in your orders. And last but not the least, it's built for the real world. The solution was built to keeping in mind that orders must be built and processed in the real world by factory staff or warehouse staff. So we have built-in workflows that ensures that configurable orders are easy for your warehouse and factory to manufacture and process. Okay.
So before we get into our demo, I'm just going to post a poll uh, for our audience, and Athra, you can get your screen set up. Audience, you should see the poll come up on your screen right now. Okay, thank you. Over to you, Athra.
Okay. In this demo, I'll be looking to show you three aspects of the CPQ solution. The first is a configuration. How do you set up configurable item groups within NetSuite? The second is the experience for your sales rep within the ERP. And the third is the experience for your customers on SuiteCommerce. So Tina, I'd like to share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. So let's look at how to configure a product. I'm going to show you one that is already configured to save time for this demo. And if at any point of time you have any questions about what I'm showing you or questions about the product in general, please feel free to drop them in the chat and I will get to them at the end of the session. So let's look at the farmhouse indoor-outdoor barn light. This is it. It's very simple. You have a name, you have an item description. What type of item is this? This is an assembly item. What is the price, the amount? Starts at $346 because you have custom options that could bump up the pricing. And you have an image as well that shows on the main screen. Right now, we have all of these options. These are the options that have been set up for the light, right? You have shade sizes of 10 inches to 22 inches. You have a shade and base finish of all of these different colors. You have stem styles, you have stem finish, and you have accessories or sensors. Now, you'll see that they are divided into different levels. So, the shade size is level 1, the shade finish is level 2, stem style is level 3, and so on. And you can mark some of these as mandatory. So if, for example, you're purchasing the shade and you need the shade size to be picked, you can mark the shade sizes as mandatory. They can also be multi-select. Now, a lamp can have only one shade, so the shades are single select, but you could have both a motion sensor and a dusk to dawn sensor or light sensor, so those are marked as multi-select. So the product actually gives you the flexibility to define all of these different things. Now you'll see that some of these items have parent item dependencies that have been set up. Let's look at the mahogany bronze shade. The mahogany bronze shade is only available to the 14-inch shade. It's not available to any other shade size. And the same goes for the matte black shade. They will only be shown for if you select the 14-inch shade size. So this is what I meant by defining dependencies to create valid purchase paths. Once you do that, once you set this up, and this can be, one item or multiple items, but if you have products that you need a valid set of combinations for, you can use this to define those dependencies. You can also set up, images for each of the options, and you can also have a predefined select path. So when you go on the product detail page, if you want a set of options that are by default selected, you can mark those as pre-selected. Now, let's look at one of these options right here, right? Let's go into a little more detail. Again, you've seen all of these, some of these fields, at least, this is a shade and base finish. The item itself is the mahogany bronze shade. Now, these are all components of the assembly item, right? And you've seen what is the dependency. It only shows for the 14-inch shade size. Now, the quantity is very important. It always defaults to 1 if you don't have anything specified, but say you were selling a lamp with 2 shades and you were adding bulbs to it, you can say the quantity is 2, right? So it will automatically add 2 bulbs to your order rather than having your customer manually select the quantities for each one. You can also define a template, so is this a radio button? Is this a checkbox? Is it a drop-down, a multi-select, and so on? And the product detail page on the website and on the ERP will automatically show that particular field type. So it's simple enough. You can create the product configurator options. You can create these groups. That's essentially what they are. They are item groups or bundles, right? But if you use SuiteCommerce, you know that NetSuite does not support item groups for SuiteCommerce. So this actually functions as a tool to bridge that gap as well. So let's look at an order. And again, like I was saying, there are many ways to set this up. You can set it up manually or you can import it. These records are available for CSV import, and we will provide a template for you to use to import your items. Now, let's look at your sales reps experience, right? I'm gonna prepare a quote for a customer with the product that we just looked at. So Lucid Supplies is a fictional company that sells all sorts of supplies for the home. So they sell lamps clearly, right? And I scroll down, I go to configure items. I hope you can see this pop out that is showing up right now. Tina, can you?
I can see it.
You can see it. Great. Awesome. All right. So very simple. It's kept very simple. You can see this drop down and it shows you every configurable item that is defined in your NetSuite account. Right. So let's pick the one that we just looked at. It's a farmhouse indoor-outdoor barn light. And like you saw, the level 1 is the shade size. So I can pick any level. And you can see, I didn't pick the 14-inch, so I don't see the mahogany bronze shade or the matte black shade. If I switch, there they are, the matte black and the mahogany bronze. Right, say I want a 22-inch. Again, you go back to seeing what you saw before. I pick the galvanized silver shade and the image switches to show a galvanized silver shade. Now this is entirely up to you. You can define any image you need to and any number of images for each option. So if you want 3 different perspectives of the galvanized silver shade, you can do that, and the solution supports that. The stem style, I want a contemporary stem style with a black stem finish, and I want both the photo sensor and the motion sensor. Right, so I'm done selecting this now. Your sales rep will only see the valid options, right? There's no mistake to be made, such as he chooses the 22-inch shade size, but then puts on the mahogany bronze for that shade size. So you eliminate that possibility of error right from the beginning. And when I click on add items, the CPQ, that's fine. We are going to manufacture this for the customer. The CPQ will take all of the options that you created. And since this is an assembly item, it will create a single line. So this is the order line right here. And you can see that the options that you selected are right here. So this is a human readable format. And you can actually, once a sales rep is done, they can save this estimate and they can, generate a PDF from this, or they can email it out directly to your customer and get their sign off on this. You can also change pricing as needed. It will automatically apply a discount if you have specified a discount percentage. But in this case, we have not specified a discount percentage. You can say order 10 quantities of it. You can change the price level to the customer price level. We only have a single price level defined in this account right now, but you can have it default to the customer's price level if needed. Now, let me show you what happens when you don't use an assembly item. So let's say the premium blackout roller shades. Now again, in this, it's not an assembly item, so it's going to go in as separate line items in your order, so you can track SKUs separately. And this is also meant to show you how you can see how many levels we've defined on this. So let's say we've got all of these. And again, as you choose values for each level, the values that are available to the customers on the levels further down are refined. So you're only seeing the relevant values to your selections above. It's quite a few levels because we want to show you what the product can do. Okay, that's it. So we have 13 levels, and you saw how in real time all of the values were filtered out, right? Now I click on add items, and this will actually add 13 line items. So this gives you the flexibility to not just have like a single line for assembly, but if you're just selling an item group, this is what an item group functions as, right? You can have separate line items for each one. Now, this script, this functionality is available both on quotes and on the sales order record. Now, if the client placed an order and the order is approved, the sales order is approved, and there is a configurable a configurable assembly item on the order, then upon approval of the sales order, a work order will automatically be created from the sales order with the configurable assembly item. That makes it easier for your factory. All right, I'm gonna save it, Okay. All right. Now that we've seen what the experience looks like for your sales reps on the ERP, let's look at what the experience is like for your customers on a SuiteCommerce website. There it is. So this is our demo site that we've set up with just the items for this demo. So you're seeing only the configured items, and what you're looking at is the product list page. But in real life, you would obviously have a selection of configurable items and regular items that can be purchased. The solution is smart enough to show the configure item button and not the add to cart button on the product list page, right? So let's look at, again, these are, one is an assembly item. The modern coffee table is an assembly item, and the garage light is not an assembly item. So let's look at the coffee table first. There it is. Now it goes to the product detail page. It looks exactly like the product detail page for any other product. In fact, the URL is the same, and this is because the CPQ solution has a product detail page template that is automatically rendered when you click on a configurable product. So no iframes are needed, no callouts are needed. This is native SuiteCommerce. So say I'm going to choose a rectangle. And again, you can see how the image changes. I can choose a tabletop finish, and you can see that the table legs, the black table legs are available. And if I choose white, it switches to the gold. And choose that, and we have the accessory. So far, these three levels were single select, and that's why you see only one option. But accessories may be multi-select. So I'm going to say I want the charging socket and I want the wooden tray. Now, at this point, your customers can either add to quote if this functionality is enabled on your website, and it creates an estimate record, a quote record within NetSuite, or they can add to cart, which I'm going to do right now because I want to show you how the purchase flow works. And it will add everything that you've selected to the cart, and it will show you right here. So if you have matrix items on your website, the experience for your customer is similar to that of purchasing a matrix item, but you've seen there's a lot that goes on in the back with validations and valid purchase flows and dependencies, right? Now, for the modern coffee table, we've said that if you purchase all of this, you get a 10% discount, so that is automatically applied right here. I'd like to show you what the non-configured, what the non-assembly item looks like. So here it is. It's a light, very similar to what we saw earlier. So you can have exterior colors. And if you see for the matte black, we have 3 images. So they will automatically show up as a carousel with arrows on it. And the same thing. Now, the interior colors are actually a matrix item. So it allows you to define a matrix parent for a single level so that, if you have 15 different colors, you don't have to do the manual work of setting up those 15 different matrix child items. You just have to specify the matrix parent, and the solution will pull in all of the matrix child options. So I'm going to say black. And again, if you don't have any images associated with the particular option, it just keeps the last one that you were looking at, doesn't switch out. I'm going to say mounting style, upward sloping or gooseneck. There it is. And then I get to select the accessories. So like we saw before, all of these were single select, but the accessories may be multi-select. So I can select the LED light bulb and the dusk to dawn sensor. And you can see how much markup each one has, right? So we just added $75 to the price of the light. Let's look at what the cart looks like. So to the customer, they don't need to know if this is an assembly item or a non-assembly item. You can see that what they see is exactly the same thing. It's the same experience for any type of configurable item. It's very logically arranged with all of the options that have been selected. I go to checkout, and the checkout flow works the same as what you have set up in NetSuite. All right, so we have the shipping address, the delivery method. The mini cart shows, all of the options that were selected. Continue, and then you'll have a chance to review this. Right now, we don't provide an edit option for configurable items just because you don't want them removing anything right here, but you can redirect back to the product detail page and they can restart their purchase workflow if needed. I am going to place a sales order right here. There it is, 1522. Let's look at the order inside of NetSuite. There it is. Customer is me. And you can see that for the non-assembly item, you can see that everything that we selected was added as a separate line item. But for the modern coffee table, you have a single line with the options that were selected. And there's also a discount line that's applied right here for the modern coffee table. So you can send out your customer emails based off of this, and we can create templates for you that doesn't show all of the different line items. If you don't want them, we can script out an email that shows them a view that is similar to what they saw on the website, and they can also track it accordingly. Right, and again, the sales order flow, any validations that you may have in your NetSuite account will start right now and will run without interference from the CPQ. And when I approve it, since there's an assembly item, a work order will be created from the sales order. And once the work order is picked up, you cannot make any changes to the setup in this order. You cannot make changes to the configurations. If a customer calls in and says, hey, I made a mistake, I need to change my selection, change my options, then what you will need to do is go ahead, delete the work order, and then edit the sales order and change the options. And that's it. This is the demo. We have a very robust roadmap for this product. It's being actively worked on. We have 2 releases every year that coincide with NetSuite releases, so .1 and .2. If you choose to purchase the CPQ, we would, and opt for an upgrade, we would push out the upgrade to your release preview account if you don't have a sandbox, so that you can test the product along with the new version of NetSuite. It's very useful, 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Why not? And once you test it and approve it, we will push it out to production. Okay, that's about it from me, Tina.
Hey, thanks so much, Athara. That was really, really interesting to watch. And going to go back to our slides. Okay, and I'd like to thank everyone who joined us today. I hope you found that helpful and informative. If you have any questions for Athara, we're going to be hanging around for a couple of minutes to answer them. Please do post them in the chat box. And if you'd like to contact Athara or get a demo of what you just saw, please reach out to us using the info on the screen in front of you. And I hope to see you in our next session. Bye-bye.